And we should be live. Welcome everyone to Good Morning World. Hopefully I'm on the right channel. Always a constant battle with me. Audio levels looking good. Everything's looking good. I see people already here. I scheduled this stream out for 11 o'clock. I was exporting a video and I wasn't sure exactly how long that would take. So we're here about 10 minutes early. I want to welcome everyone to the stream. Thank you for coming by and hanging out with me for a little bit here. If this is your first time ever doing a Good Morning World, it's basically where I just talk about my life, things going on, my dreams, my failures, my goals, things are happening. And that is the reason that there hasn't been one in a couple weeks. You guys have been asking me. I did a live stream on my Lego channel the other night and everyone's like, are you doing a Good Morning World here on Sunday? And I'm like, I guess I have to, right? So that's where we're at right now. And the reason I haven't been streaming, if you're wondering, is because I'm like a week behind on videos on this channel. I like to talk about the things that I did in the last week, but it's not really relevant when you haven't seen the video. So everything that you're watching is actually happened a week prior to that, and I'm going to try to somehow get caught up. Pop-Tart, thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. We're going to use that towards, I don't know. I usually use it towards Lego stuff on my Lego channel when people donate, so I'll probably just push that money over to that. So thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. Where was I? You got me all distracted, Pop-Tart. Yeah, so I'm a week behind on videos, and it's actually going to get a little bit worse because I've actually been recording more. I've been vlogging more. I have like 4 videos from last week that I need to edit, and it's going to be kind of fun to go back and edit those because I can't even remember what they're about, but I've just been like taking each day and I just start recording, and you'll find that when you just start recording, things just start to happen, and all of a sudden you have this whole little storyline of a day. And every day, even though they seem like they're kind of the same, every day is a little bit different, and there's these little things to pull out, and that's kind of what my goal is here, because I'm kind of realizing now that me and Clark's time together is drawing to a close. At least just me and him, because in about 2 months, Cody's going to be home with us, so it'll be the 3 of us, and that'll actually make things better. But I kind of want to record these little moments that we have together, because next year, when she goes back to school, he's probably going to be in school too. So I feel like my time is slowly drifting away, and that makes me really sad. So my goal for myself is to try to capture as much of that as I can. And I did a good job of that this week. You guys will see that in this upcoming week. So I can't really tell you too much about that, but I can just say that you'll see it soon. You're probably wondering also, why is this live? I thought you went over doing Good Morning World where it wasn't live. And the answer to that question is YouTube threw another curveball at me. You know, they started getting rid of the whole comment things, which is probably my biggest disappointment with YouTube in all of history. Is they got rid of my comments on this channel, and I found a little loophole where I was able to kind of go back and I was able to undo that, and I was able to bring comments in, enabling them, even going back on old videos. And I spent a couple hours one night going back and enabling comments on older videos that I had, and that worked okay for a while, and then I think YouTube got smart to that. Now I can't do anything, so you can't comment on my videos, which is a huge bummer. And I have had people come over to my other channel and they're like, oh, I wanted to comment there, but they comment this. So I thought, if anything, these Good Morning Worlds can just be a place where you guys can interact and we can interact together, because we don't have that anymore in the videos. And I don't know if that's ever going to change. I hope so. I hope YouTube gets it resolved. Is it going to happen this year, this month, today? I don't know. I'm thinking it's going to be a while, so this will be our place to do that. So I'm bringing Good Morning World back alive again. I'm going to allow you guys to interact with me in the comments, and we're still going to be able to chat there. I'm down for talking about anything, any topic at all, except for Lego. Lego has its own special place in my heart, and its own very special 2 channels, so we can talk about anything outside of that, and I'll be talking about that here in a bit. I have an outline here where I wanted to discuss a few things. So I guess I talked about why I haven't been doing these morning streams, which I think it's been about 3 weeks, and how I'm doing them live again. I am contemplating, I'm actually thinking about this on all of my live stuff. I'm thinking about making it where you can only see it live when it's live. I know that would kind of bum some people out though, which is why I don't do that, because I know a lot of people watch these after the fact. But I feel like there's something special about tuning into something and knowing that you're there in that moment, and that moment's going to pass, and you'll never have that opportunity again. There's something cool about that. So I'm thinking about doing that. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't want that though, so I guess maybe I'll keep it this way. I'm always trying to change the strategy up, change the formula, try to refresh things, make things better, make them new. But I don't want to do anything that's actually going to hurt people. And I guess it wouldn't hurt people, it would just make things way less convenient, because if you're I don't know. I don't know where people are watching this from, but right now it could be 1 o'clock in the morning for you, and that's just not a good time to watch a stream. So one thing I want to talk about, we were talking about Clarkman growing up. Clarkman is going to be playing t-ball. He's moving on to playing organized sports. We had our first meeting on, what night was that? One night this week. It was the day I didn't vlog. I think it was like Thursday. Oh, I did vlog something on Thursday. That was funny. But it was Thursday. And we had our first meeting where he met like the kids in the team and stuff. And that's going to be really cool. I'm going to be like a coach. Cody is actually going to be doing it too. Like all these parents, they allow the parents to come out and try to help out. And I'm excited about that. And I think Clark's going to be, it's going to be great watching him play. I'm hoping to get a lot of footage of him doing his thing. I think it's going to be really cool. I don't know whether he's going to like sports or not. I know he likes to run. So that's something. It'll keep him busy. Super Uber, thank you so much for the donation. He says, free the comments. Dude, you're preaching to the choir here, because I'm just so bummed. I can see like the thumbs ups, the thumbs downs, but it's not anywhere near as meaningful as when you see someone's comment. And usually, let's talk about this for a second. I'm going to go back to the whole Clark thing here, but thank you for bringing me back on topic with the comments. 99% of comments that I get on all of my channels, they're just like super positive, like uplifting, make me feel so good. And that's part of the reason I love uploading videos, is because when I look at those comments, it's just like, it just makes you feel good. And I always tell people, if you want to boost your self-esteem, start a YouTube channel, because there's a lot of good people out there. Especially, you tend to attract, I feel like on YouTube, you tend to attract people that are like you. So I feel like if you put positivity out there, you're going to attract a positive audience. And I like to think that I've done that. When you're like a negative person and you put that kind of stuff out there, that's what you attract. So I usually like getting comments quite a bit. But I will say the one positive thing of not having comments is every once in a while, I said 99% of them are like positive. Every once in a while you get that negative comment. And you can ask my wife, those negative comments are the ones that they mean the most, unfortunately. You could get, I think I've said this before in these streams, you could get 99 people that say that the video they just watched is the best thing they've ever watched. Then you get that one person that says they hate you. They hope you die or whatever. And that's the one that's like so meaningful. And it shouldn't be that way, but it's kind of nice not having comments, because I feel like I can just put out whatever I want and I don't have to worry about the feedback too. Kind of split on it, but I feel like overall having comments is a much more positive thing than not having them. So yeah, just creator things like that. I'm sure if anybody's made a YouTube video before, if you got one of those negative comments, you can relate to that. It really bums you out. And it's so weird you focus on the negative thing. And I feel like it's easy to do that in life in general, where you're just like, you know, all this good stuff can happen, but then like that one bad thing happens and that's what you focus on all the time. Try not to do that. Tell myself that. So there's my talk about comments. I hate it when all these videos turn into talk about YouTube, but they just keep doing things that mess me up, you know? Clark playing t-ball. Today we're going out and getting all of his gear. We're getting helmets, pants, a glove. I think they have bats. He's just going to wear sneakers. I think we're going to get him some sneakers. We're going to go black for his sneakers and pants just to keep him clean, I guess, because he's probably going to be, I don't think he's going to be sliding, but there's a good chance that he's going to be either falling or whatever, slipping. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be really cool. That's going to run from, I think, the end of April to the beginning of June. But he is going to miss his second game, I found out, because we're going to be at Philly Brickfest during that game. So, oh, dude. I'll try to get some footage for you guys. I'm excited. It's crazy to think that this little guy, like I picture Clark just being this little baby still sometimes. It's hard to believe that he's now playing sports. He's going to preschool. He's going to be going to kindergarten. And that's why I try to create these video time capsules that I'm doing. I guess on that pretty much covers everything that I wanted to cover. I just kind of wanted to reconnect with you guys here and tell you what's been going on. Things to expect. What's going on with YouTube? Because I know some people get on there like, I don't know why I can't comment. Why does he have disabled comments? It's not me. It's YouTube. Trust me. So we're going to do these this way. Let me know if you guys think I should do these where it's just live only and then gone, or if it should be up forever. I think most people would be up forever. Clark's starting t-ball. I'm going to try to do a vlog today where I take you with me on the process of buying his equipment. Although you won't see that video probably until like the next time we do a Good Morning World. And that's kind of a bummer. I got to get caught up somehow. I don't know how that's going to happen. But if you guys have anything you want to talk about, we're only like 10 minutes into this video. We got some time. Oh, I thought of something else I want to talk about. This stream should be the best looking stream that I've ever done in my entire life, because I figured out a way to make it better. Prior to this, I was using this. This is a $53 webcam from Logitech. And I found out a way through OBS, which is the software I use to stream, that I can use my iPhone, which has a much better camera. So that's what I'm using right now, which is also why I have like a reddish tone. iPhone does this thing where they try to make you look really like saturated, and it looks better. If you go back and watch my old streams, watch this for a little bit, go back and watch the last Good Morning World, it's like super white. So I'm really happy with this. 1080p, 60 frames per second. I think it looks good personally. So let's get into your topics. If there's anything you want to talk about, do I like Hot Wheels or Matchbox more? I personally like Matchbox more because the cars are more realistic, but Hot Wheels probably has the cooler cars. And speaking of that, they may be watching this right now. Someone sent us a package. I can't talk too much about it, but it has Mattel on the side and it says what's in there, and Clark is going to lose his mind. So if that was you that sent that to us, it came directly from Mattel, so I'm assuming someone must have gone online and ordered from them. I don't think Mattel would have just directly sent us Hot Wheels stuff, but it'd be cool if they did. I'm excited about that. We're probably going to record that video tomorrow, so you'll see that in a week. See how this whole thing isn't working? I'm like, here's this thing that we're going to be doing a week from now that you'll see, and here's this thing that we did last week but you won't see for a week. I just need to have a day where I do like 5 videos all straight up. Can I please vlog Clark's first t-ball game? Ideally, yes, I'm going to vlog it. I'm going to try, like, I'm helping out with the coaching part of it, but that one I'm going to have to kind of sit out and record the whole thing for you guys. It should be interesting. I don't know if anybody has ever watched kids play t-ball, or if you can imagine what that process is going to be like, because we're literally practicing, I think, twice before our first game. All these kids have no idea how to play baseball, are going to be playing baseball for the first time after 2 practice sessions that are an hour apiece. It's going to be a cluster. I just realized I need to block the word Fortnite from this channel. If you're wondering about Fortnite, I'm never playing Fortnite again, ever. And I'm probably not going to be doing games with Greg anytime soon either. So we won't be talking about video games at all. If there's anything other than that you want to talk about, I'll keep this stream going as long as we have conversation on it. And when that ends, that's when the stream's going to end. So that gives you guys some motivation to throw some things at me, because I've covered everything I want to cover. This is all about you guys. This is us interacting. So you guys can comment whatever you want now. If you're one of those people, and I know you're out there because we have 96 people watching this, if you're one of those people that are just sitting there watching it, get your hands on that keyboard, whether it's on your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, and just start typing a comment, because this is your only chance for the next week. So if there's anything that you want to say or any topics you want me to cover, let's do it. Don't be that passive person that's just watching this. This is our time. This is it. This is the reason I'm doing it live. Otherwise, I would have just done my 9-minute video where I talked about the stuff I did. I could have edited that up real nice, put some music in there, put some end screens in there, made it really crispy, but here I am doing it this way, and I'm doing it for you guys, so that's why I'm doing it. Oh man, we've got some comments coming through. Let's see if there's anything that I can go off of for a conversation starter here. Nope. 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 Unfortunately, it's mostly the Lego people coming over, asking me about Lego sets, asking me about video game from Lego sets. And I appreciate you guys coming over. Again, this is kind of like a thing that I like to keep somewhat separate. I appreciate you guys coming over, and I know that you like both channels and stuff, and it's good that we're making conversation, but I kind of want to take it on topics beyond Lego, because I talk about that all the time. And I just want to see what happens. So we're gonna let this go for a couple minutes. I can wait. Or I'll just this'll, I guess, be our trial run. I'll have to make my decision on whether I'm going to do these live again or not. There we go. We got one person, Galligade. Thank you. Can we talk about Cody's car? I love it. Yeah, it's one of those things that she's wanted for a very long time, and my Nissan was starting to get kind of old, so I was going to trade it in on a truck or something else. I needed something that can haul things, and obviously she wanted that vehicle, so we did it. It was cool, and we didn't go in debt for it, which is an important thing. I don't recommend taking car loans out if you don't have to. Buy a vehicle that you can afford in most cases, unless you just really need a vehicle to get back and forth to work. Then I can see getting something that doesn't cost a whole lot, just so you can get there and then pay that loan off and try to build yourself up. But that was a proud moment. I was really hesitant. We talked about not making that video for a little while because I didn't want it to come off like we were bragging or boasting or anything like that, but I don't think it was that. And in fact, I said in the video, like, this is just a good moment in our lives that I record everything. So why would I not record this just because I'm worried about what someone's going to say? And the cool thing about it is no one can say anything because there's no comments. So there you go. Let me see if there's anything else to go off of. That's pretty much it for the whole truck thing. I love it. It's a really cool truck. I wish I was the one driving it, but I don't really drive that much. In fact, I've only driven the Subaru once in the last week. So yeah, let her drive what she likes. I used to like consider myself a car person. Like, I used to be into cars and my friends customized their cars. I never really did that, but I was always interested in watching it and looking at photos and things. And now it's like cars don't mean anything to me. It's just a mode of transportation. I don't know. It's just not that important. Let me see what else we got here. I got a lot of movie questions. I don't really want to talk about movies. Can I explain how tax is relevant to normal life? I don't know what that means. If I had one day left to live, what would I do with it? Asked Brick by Brick. I guess you'd just spend it with your family. If you knew that was the end, I mean, it'd be pretty terrible, but you'd want to spend as much time with the people that you care about as possible. So that's pretty much it. No matter what it is, I guess if you're just sitting around talking to each other, looking at each other, that's probably what you'd want to do. Now, if you were doing a thing where it was like Groundhog Day, where you're reliving the same day over and over again, I guess you'd want to be on like some type of vacation or like a tropical island where you have this amazing day every day. That's probably what you'd want to do. Would I go back to college? No. No, and in fact, if I could go back now, knowing what I know now, I would have never went to college. In fact, if I know what I know now, I probably would have done what some people do, which is online schooling for high school. I probably did that so I could crank my schooling out in like 3 hours a day. Just do it from like 8 to 11, and then I'd have the rest of the day to do whatever I want. That's probably what I would do. But it takes a special type of person to do that. I know a lot of you guys that are watching this, or at least commenting, are in high school or middle school. It takes a very independent type person, which I feel like I am, to do that kind of stuff. And I just think I work really well that way. But you gotta have that dedication, and you gotta have discipline to do it. Gallagate asked if we have an Easter at our house. No, we're having it at Cody's mom's this year, which should be cool. Hopefully we have an Easter egg hunt. Clark, man, I'll love that. Do I think Clark will have the truck by 2032? Is that how old he'll be when he can drive? I think our numbers are off, right? 20. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. It'll be a little bit of an older truck by then. Will we still have it? I don't know. But it'd be kind of cool if we did, because I have that video of him where he's sitting in the driver's seat as a 4-year-old. It'd be cool to take that shot and then put it right with the one where he's 16 and driving it away for the first time. I think that would be really cool. Oh man, we're getting some good stuff now. I had to warm you guys up a little bit, but now we're coming through. All right, Bruce says, in your dictionary, what defines happiness? I define happiness and success the same way, probably. And I think it's being free of obligations, unnecessary obligations, which I consider things like debt to be unnecessary obligations. And if you can wake up every day and do what you want to do that day, at least in some aspect, I consider that success, and I consider myself to be happy with that. And if that is the definition that I have, I consider myself to be pretty happy right now. I also think it's the people in your life that make a big difference as well. So if you have, I think sharing happiness is an important thing. And you do everything alone, you have no one to share it with. So add that into the equation as well. Let me see what else we got going on here. I'm going through your guys' comments right now. That's a good question, though. I appreciate that. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. I don't want to answer the question, am I going to go watch Endgame? I want to answer the question, what defines happiness? Thank you for that, Bruce. Am I being picky here? I like to think so. How's Clark doing in preschool? Dude, preschool, it's like every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 8 to 11, but then some weeks it flips to the afternoon, which we don't take him in the afternoon. And then the last couple of weeks, they haven't had preschool. So he hasn't been in preschool for like 3 weeks, and he's not going until next week. So it's really just a crafts thing. Next year is going to be the year where we get him into preschool, and the year where he's like really starting to learn. But really, I mean, I would love to homeschool Clark because I have a lot of negative feelings about school, even though my wife's a teacher. But he needs that socialization, and that's pretty much the only reason that I want him to go to school, is to be socialized with other kids, make friends, stuff like that. When you're an only child, you got nobody, right? So you need some other people and other kids to pal around with. So I'm happy about that. I just worry about what the education system's going to do to his creativity and his personality, because sometimes when you're a kid like Clark, you don't do well in school. Not because you're not smart, just because when you're kind of like zany and you're outlandish and you don't fit inside a box, school doesn't like that. What Toby asks, what made you make a YouTube channel? Well, I initially made this channel to document us buying our first house, and I guess just to start making vlogs because I was obsessed with vloggers at the time. That's back when daily vlogging was all the rage, and maybe it still is, but I started getting into that, and I was just always super interested in YouTube. And then I started doing it, and it's just gone crazy since then. I'm going through the comments here. Bear with me, guys. I'm looking for that little gem that's in here. Going back here, what's something that you would want to say to someone who doesn't like what you're doing? Well, if what you're doing is something you like, don't worry about what other people think. Let them worry about themselves. And don't let people stop you from doing what you love to do, no matter what that is. If you love to do something, the worst thing you can do, and I think the biggest regret that people have when they die, is that they didn't live the life that they wanted to live. You worry about other people. You make decisions based on what other people say, what other people think, and then you live a life of regret. Don't live with regret. And that's what thinking about other people's thoughts do to you. How do I think about how your life would have changed if you did college? Well, I did college. And I mean, it's hard to go back now because I went to college, I paid a lot of money for it, I got a job out of college, I made a lot of money at that job. So, I mean, I guess it was a success, but I don't use any of that. Well, it's hard to say. I mean, it's so hard to say who you would be if you didn't do a certain thing in your life, especially at a big event like that. Would I be a different person now? Would I be on the same path? It's like one of those things where you change a little element of your life and a whole big thing can change. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie. A movie that I think really demonstrates that well is called Butterfly Effect. Watch that movie if you ever want to see what I'm talking about. Here we go. Wolfbrick says, hey Greg, I'm homeschooled, but I've gone to public school. I see where you come from. There's a lot of negative things in public school. If you were to homeschool, wait until Clark is a little older. Yeah, I mean, I just don't want him to miss out on that social element of school. But I really respect what a lot of homeschool people do. Like, I watch a few channels where their kids are homeschooled, and I like that instead of sitting in a classroom with like a math book and doing problems, a homeschool math lesson could potentially be, hey, we're going to go work on a Lego set, for example. How many studs wide is this piece? And if I have 5 of those, how many studs does that add up to? And it's just like doing things like that. I feel like the more practical lessons are more important. There's many things that you can learn that aren't in books, and some kids just respond differently to things, and we'll see how Clark does. We're going to put him in school, of course, but if we find that it's having a negative impact or maybe we can do better, I would be glad to homeschool him. I just need to find like a curriculum that I can follow and do it with him that way. And I'm sure those things are out there. And I thought, how cool would it be? I actually talked to Cody about this. How cool would it be if I were to document me and Clark doing homeschool together? I don't feel like many people do that. Maybe they do. I don't watch those channels, but to see a dad and his son do homeschooling could like maybe motivate other people to do it, or maybe other kids could follow along with what we're doing and learn from our videos. Who knows? You know, next chapter, Greg's School of Clark. I don't know. We'll see what happens. How's Roxy Bear's leg? Oh, it's better. She's doing much better now. So that video that you saw that was uploaded like a week ago, that's like 2 weeks old now, so she's better now. Thank you for asking, though. Brickmaster says, I appreciate the advice you give us. I get bullied for having a Lego YouTube channel. Yeah, don't let people bully you about that kind of stuff. I wouldn't go around advertising it, but don't let people bring you down because of something that you love to do. I see a lot of people. I mean, there's a lot of homeschooled people here. See, we can see both sides' perspective, or both perspectives of it. Yeah, Beer Detect is coming back. We'll see how long I can get away with it. Galligate says, I don't have the confidence to homeschool my son, really. Again, I feel like if there was a curriculum, like what I would need, I can't just be like, all right, Clark, we're going to learn reading today. I need like a book that's like, day 1, this is what we're going to work on. Day 2, this is what we're going to work on, and just keep going through that. I'm very interested in it, though, and I would love to live a life, especially if we ever get to the point where we can do like a lot of traveling. I think it'd be good to be able to teach Clark ourselves. If I didn't make a YouTube channel, what would I be? I'd probably still be at my job. I worked in finance. I was a branch manager. I'd probably be doing that. I wouldn't be happy with it. I wouldn't be living the life that I imagined. I wouldn't be living my dreams. I probably, you know, I would just be living in existence, and it's just no way to live. I mean, we'd be okay financially, but it'd be, I don't know. There's something special about doing what you love to do for a living. And I guess I didn't know what I was missing out on before it happened, because I was very content at my job before. Is the word content, or is it complacent? I was complacent. I was just doing it every week, making money, doing it every week. And then once you break away from that, like I used to be in the mind state when right after I quit, I used to think like, I started really appreciating it. I would look at the clock and it'd be 5:30, and I would think, oh man, I would just be starting to leave work right now. I wouldn't be home for another 30 minutes. And I used to annoy Cody by saying that all the time. I'd be like, oh, I'd still be at work. I'd be doing this. I'd be doing this. But now I don't even think like that anymore. In fact, I think I did think about it one other day. It was like 8:30, and I thought, man, right now we would just be opening up, and I'd be starting a whole day of misery. And instead, I'm like, let's go downstairs and let's make some videos. It's just, I don't know how I lucked out in this position. Again, I'm not bragging. I hope I never come off as bragging, because if anything, I'm trying to encourage people to do what they love to do for a living, and not follow your dreams. Just I'm not the best motivational speaker, of course, but if watching my videos or my channels does anything for you, I hope it encourages you to look inside yourself and find what you love to do and try to make a go at it. Focus on it long enough. If you put enough time and pressure into anything, it'll happen. If you put your attention on something, it happens. And I fully believe that, within reason. I mean, if I know I couldn't say, I want to be an NBA player tomorrow or like a year from now. It's just, that's not going to happen. But if you can do something realistically that you see other people doing on a fairly normal basis, I guarantee you can do it as well. What happened to the globe I got yesterday? It's in the garage. Hope I never, I can't take big items like that on, but I appreciate the thought there. Let's see here. David says, how would you make Clark realize the value of creativity, but also the importance of society places on the traditional schooling? That's a good question. See, creativity is the biggest thing that I feel like school lacks, and that's the thing that I want Clark to focus on the most. I feel like he's just this super interesting little dude right now, and I worry when you take that personality into a school system that demands that you fall in line so they can train you to become a good employee or a worker somewhere. I worry that's going to be the thing that slips away. That worries me a lot, but what can you do, you know? You got to take the good with the bad, and I guess if we reinforce that creativity with him on the weekends and the evenings, which I intend to do, I think he'll be able to hold on to it. I appreciate you guys coming through with the chat, though. This has been a really good conversation here. Charlie says, what do people that worked with you think about you now? They should be impressed. I don't really talk to them at all. It's surprising you'll find that your friends that you work with are only your friends because you work with them. I mean, I talk to them every once in a while. I don't think they know that much about my YouTube channel. In fact, I never really told anyone about it when I worked there. And when I left, that was the first time I really said, like, when I told my boss that I was leaving, she's like, what are you going to do? Because they're worried that you're going to go to like another finance company or another institution. And I was like, I'm going to stay home with my little dude and I'm going to make videos. I have a YouTube channel. And whenever you tell someone you have a YouTube channel, their first question is like, how do you make money at that? And they question it. They're not like, oh, okay. Now, if I would have said, I'm going to go work at this bank, they would have been like, I gotcha. But I didn't really want to say too much. I didn't tell them what my channels were. I didn't really go off on it. If they saw it now, I don't know. I don't know what they think. I hope they'd be impressed with what I was able to create. It's been an amazing year or two, almost 2 years now, year and a half. Again, it goes back to what I said earlier. When you put your attention on something and you start focusing on something, you can see amazing results. It really just comes down to putting the time in. Put the time in. But yeah, I hope they're happy for me. I hope someday they can, maybe they're living their dreams. I don't know. If I could go back in time and change one thing about my life, what would it be? Man, you guys, whew, that's a good one. I would start doing YouTube in 2006. The day YouTube came out, I'd buy the very best 2006 camera that I could find, start shooting vlogs of my life, and I never would have stopped. It's the one thing I would change. Just think where things would be now. That doesn't mean that if you haven't started a YouTube channel yet and you're thinking about it, it's never too late. The best day to do anything is today. Here's a question I get sometimes. If you were to delete one of your channels, which one and why? I would delete, I mean, if we're talking about all of my channels, I would delete Games with Greg. It's my smallest channel. The channel that I would keep the most would be this one here, because this is like 90% of my income, and this is the one where all of my life is stored, if that makes sense. It's Brickitect is like my Lego stuff, and I cherish those videos, but this one is like bringing Roxy home, Clark's first this, Clark's first that. Like, our whole life is here, so this is the one that I would have to salvage. If you're wondering, I do have backups of all the videos, so if YouTube were to ever go down, I have 2 hard drives that have the same videos on both. So if one hard drive, if YouTube goes down, and if one of my hard drives fails, I still have all my videos I've ever uploaded. That's important. Let me go through the comments here. If we have more kids, what will we name them? That's not going to happen because Cody doesn't want to have any more kids for obvious reasons. But I wanted to name Clark Henry when we had him. That was the name I wanted to come up with. Cody didn't like it. I wanted to call him, he could obviously be Henry. He could be Hank, which you probably wouldn't call him that. Or, my personal favorite, Henri. Hello, Henri. Welcome to our channel. I like that name a lot. Plus, I love Henry David Thoreau. What's the best part of doing YouTube full time? I think it's the flexibility. The flexibility of doing what you want. I mean, literally, I just record my life and I put it out there. And I think in being authentic and sharing that, people appreciate that, and that's why they watch it. It's not like my life's any more interesting than anyone. It's not like I'm a better presenter than anyone. It's not like I do anything better than anyone. The only thing that I do the best is share who I am and what I'm doing, and I do that in a very honest way that people tend to appreciate, because you don't see that very much on YouTube. So, yeah. So that's definitely the best part. I like the flexibility of that, and it's cool to have all these things captured. That's my big thing. Like, I guess I'm a video hoarder. I just want to share everything, and it's actually unfortunate because I tend to sometimes get depressed or down on myself when I don't capture something that I wish I would have recorded. Not even just for YouTube, but just to have. Like, if we'll have like a really awesome day and I'm like, why didn't I record that? I wanted to have that forever. But then it's gone. But sometimes you just have to live in the moment and you have to appreciate that. and just be thankful that you got to experience it. Because sometimes with the camera, you can't experience things in the same way that you would with a camera in your hand. If I were to choose a new channel name, what would it be? I don't know. I think Greg's World sums up what I'm doing here pretty well. I don't know if I would change a name. I'd probably change my Lego channel name. At the time, I thought I was really crafty coming up with Brickitect, but I don't like having the word brick in my name because like 80% of Lego people do. So I'd probably change it to something else. At this point, if I knew what I knew now and I just had to title my Lego channel anything, I would title it Greg and Clark's Lego Journey, because that's the most relevant name that you could possibly give it. Any advice for smaller YouTube channels? Just keep going. Try to make videos that are unique to you. Share your personality. That's the biggest thing. Be vulnerable if you need to be. Don't try to hide things. If you mess up, don't be afraid to share that. I think people appreciate it when you're human. If I make a mistake, I don't try to hide it. In fact, I embrace it. If we mess something up, it's just, that's what it is. We messed it up. It happens, right? Some people's channel, if a mistake comes out, it's like end of the world. Not with me. This is just real life, and this is the reality of things and what happens. Do we have any final comments? We've been going for over 30 minutes here. I feel like this is a long one. I feel like we probably need to wrap it up. So if anybody has any final questions, pressing statements, anything that you want to talk about that we haven't discussed yet, you want to know the meaning of life, throw it out there. While we're waiting for the question of the day. Would I ever move house? Yes, we're actually looking to move. We've been looking to move for about a year, but can't find a house that suits us. So it's hard. It's hard finding a place. Like, this place suits our needs pretty well. We just want a bigger place and a location that's closer to Cody's job. But finding that house is very difficult. Ones that check off all of our boxes. And you don't want to spend a lot of money on a house to not get exactly what you want. Here we go. One did on this. What's the best thing that I've ever done? Met my wife, developed that relationship, had Clark Man, and the best thing that I've ever done is still in the works because I'm still trying to raise him. And we're bringing you guys along on that process. So on that, thank you so much for the good ending. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you want to see more Good Morning Worlds, make sure you tune in every Sunday morning. It's usually between like 9 and 11, somewhere in that range. If you're watching this after the fact, I'm going to keep this up for you guys just so you can see it, because I like to put it out there. I feel like we covered some good stuff. Think of some things you want to talk about next week, and we'll be back with you then on Good Morning World.